And now for something completely different. This is a PvP for set 2 of the match between MBC and SKT1. And unlike the first match, which featured two relatively mediocre ZVZ players, this match features two extremely good PvP players in Pusan and Bisu Shield. And I'm very excited to be casting this game because Bisu is one of my absolute favorite players, and I haven't gotten to commentate one of his games yet. Pusan is being sent out by MBC, and he is a relatively older player. He won a Star League. He won the OSL about 3 years ago, and he hasn't done fantastically of late. But he's still pretty good, and his best matchup by far is PvP. He's about 54% overall, 61.5% in PvP lifetime. So a very good PvP player, knows what he's doing, can give Bisu a run for his money. Bisu, on the other hand, has been playing fantastically of late, playing some amazing PvP. He's still known as a PvZ specialist, a little bit better career stats in PvZ, but 62% in PvP, so even a little bit better record than Pusan's. So this should be a great matchup. Bisu is the blue Protoss in the bottom left, and Pusan is the red Protoss in the top right, and this map is Colosseum 2, which is a great map for Protoss, and a map that I really enjoy seeing games on. I think it offers potential for a lot of different kinds of gameplay, between big macro games and early rushes and mid-game skirmishing and all sorts of stuff. So I think we're in for an exciting game on this map. Interestingly enough, I think Bisu just switched teams in the off season. I think he used to play for MBC. I probably should know that, but I think this is a matchup. He's probably played them before, but coming back again to play his old team, and we'll see how he does under that little bit of extra pressure. Nothing too out of the ordinary for either player. No cheese, proxy gates in the middle of the map or anything like that. Both going for a scout after gateway, and we'll see what direction they scout in. If either player, it looks like Pusan has decided to scout cross position, so I guess looking for cheese, and it's going to pay off because he's going to find Bisu first by sheer luck, and that'll be a little bit of an advantage to Pusan. Not as much of an advantage as if Bisu had been going for something cheesy like a 2-gate, but still it'll give him that little bit of extra advantage, and it may throw Bisu off because this early scout may convince Bisu that Pusan is in the bottom right corner, and Bisu may not get the scout until very late. Manor Pylon going down for Pusan, trapping one probe in, and that's actually become one of Bisu's little trademark moves, so giving Bisu a little taste of his own medicine there. But Bisu will, he tricks the probe out, it looks like, but he's still going to hack away at that pylon and try to take it down. And Bisu was fooled. Bisu is going to the bottom right corner now, so Bisu is going to get a scout in very, very late. And another manor pylon going down right next to the first manor pylon, trapping in another probe. Two mineral patches have now been walled off, and one of those mineral patches is right in the middle, so Bisu's probes are going a long way around to try to mine from it. Now Bisu's finally going in the right direction to get the scout. He should be able to get it in. There's a relatively wide choke, so Pusan won't be able to block the zealot or anything. One manor pylon is down, and another will be down shortly with that zealot, and now a second zealot attacking it. The probe of Pusan's is still out there, and it looks like Bisu has gotten his probe in, so he's going to see Pusan's build. Both players still going for relatively standard builds, nothing too extraordinary. Oh, and Pusan sent a zealot into Bisu's base, so Pusan's going to try to do a little bit of harassment, but I think that's going to be forced back relatively quickly. Bisu built that second zealot, I think, just in case the sort of harassment did come down from Pusan. Second gateway going up now for Bisu, and we'll see whether Pusan is doing the same thing. I think Pusan's probably given himself a bit of an economic advantage with those manor pylons. It's there always seems to be a big debate over when and to what extent manor pylons are worth it. money-wise. I think they're certainly worth it psychologically, because it does sort of throw your opponent off and make them alter their build, and it's just a little way of screwing with them. So I think Pusan's given himself a little bit of a lead at this point. His probe does get nicely picked off by Bisu though. And range going down for Pusan, range also going down for Bisu, as the Korean observers are showing. So neither player's gone for an expansion yet, so we may see 2-gate goons for a little while, or they may add more gates and go for a relatively quick push off one base. Not too much to talk about at the moment. A couple more Dragoons popping out for Bisu. One of the comments I've gotten from a couple of you guys is to lay off every so often and let the game speak for itself, so I'm going to try to do that more, and I hope that does help you guys appreciate the game. Next side now going down, so neither player is going to go for any sort of all-in 3 or 4 gate goon push, which we've seen a couple of times on this map, and which I think is actually it's my favorite PvP build, partly because it's the only build that I really have the combination of micro and macro to pull off when I play. I think it also is a fairly effective build on this map, because there's no ramp that the defender can retreat up, and there's a relatively wide choke into the main, and if you have 8 or 10 goons pushing down, you can put them on top of that ramp in the